Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video from Kirk, and it's titled Charlie Effortlessly Dismantles the Racist White Privilege Myth. You guys, I'm excited for this. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what Kirk has for us in this video.
Do you believe in Asian American privilege?
Hey, wealth doesn't mean power and privilege.
Do you believe in Asian American privilege?
I believe that there are a few people of certain races who have gotten very, very wealthy based on trade, based on the economic system that we have. I also believe that as a white man, I historically have an advantage over people who are of a color that is not my skin tone. This is evident from the slave trade, all the way up to Reconstruction, and all the way up to Jim Crow laws. I assume, based on your facial expression, that you have a retort. I'm going to go ahead and let you make that.
So did we treat Asian Americans well in the 1940s and 50s?
We sure didn't.
So then how did they overcome that?
They overcame that through
Were they privileged?
having to work harder than white people.
Oh, so they worked harder and they were rewarded for it 60 years later.
How about people that work hard for like 350 years and didn't get any reward?
Yeah. How about that?
Like who?
Slaves.
Yeah, slaves.
What do you mean? Do you know anyone that's ever owned a slave?
Do I know anyone that's ever owned a slave?
Yes.
What does that have to do with that?
It has a lot to do with it.
What does that have to do with like?
Because if you make three big choices in America, you're guaranteed not to live in poverty. You know what those three choices are? Get married before you have kids, get a job, and graduate high school. You know what community does that at the highest rate? Asian Americans. That's why they're successful. We live in a meritocracy. You make good choices, you will be rewarded for those choices. Irrelevant of your skin colors. When you say white privilege exists, good choice privilege exists.
Yeah, but I think white people reap a lot of benefits.
Name one benefit that white people, but that they benefit from this society. Despite
Police
Asian,
treatment.
what?
Police treatment.
What about police treatment? That white people are more likely to be shot by a police officer than a black person's likely to be shot by a police officer? From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Justice independent study of 300 independent police forces across the
You
country.
must not have.
Facts must bother leftists because they always walk away as soon as you recite.
You can make.
You have a shit ton of leftists here who are still standing here.
Well, I've already made a couple leave, but I'm happy to keep talking.
Oh, you made a couple.
Well, that's great.
No, but let's get back. Can you,
That's quantifiable evidence.
if white privilege exists, why are Asian Americans and Indian Americans wealthier, have higher incomes, live in better areas on aggregate than white Americans do?
I don't know.
Maybe because white privilege doesn't exist.
Maybe, or maybe
Oh,
there's.
maybe it doesn't. Okay. Maybe skin color has nothing to do with it,
But
and
I
choices have
disagree.
everything to do with it.
I disagree with that.
Then show me some evidence, because I just showed you some evidence that it doesn't exist.
What would you take as evidence? What count?
You guys, I love the point Kirk is hammering on. If you check the statistics of successful Asian Americans and Indian Americans, you see that it's very, very high because they were able to make the right choices. They were able to go into the right career. This is to say that race does not determine the amount of success one can achieve in life. What determines your state of being successful is the right choices you make in your lifetime. Because once you make the wrong choice, you are definitely bound to fail. And if you decide to make the right choice, you are definitely going to succeed, no matter your skin color, whether you are a black man, an Indian man, an Asian man, or a white man. Your choices in life determines your level of success. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below, and let's continue watching, you guys.
What counts for you?
Something that I just said, for example, that the wealthiest people in America, numbers would be nice, historical data, logic.
Testimony.
No, testimony means nothing. I don't care about anyone's version of truth. I care about evidence. I don't care about feelings. I care about facts.
Aren't most of these studies partially based on testimony, though?
No, when you say that Asian Americans are the richest people in America, that's math. That's looking at people's income. That's not testimony. Testimony would be a singular person saying, I've had a tough time. That would be testimony, which that might be true, but that doesn't make it true in the aggregate.
Black people?
I'm sorry?
Is there discrimination?
There's discrimination against all sorts of people.
Yeah, is it worse against black people or is it equal?
Depends what part of the country, it depends what situation. And when that exists, there's laws to put people in prison.
If you put them all together, which race-based discrimination is discrimination?
I would say probably Hispanic Americans in certain parts of the country, even more so. But I have no data to support that. You asked me some anecdotal question. I haven't done that much thinking about it. But I'll say this. In America, if you make a sequence of good choices irrelevant of skin color, you will be rewarded for those choices. We're one of the only countries in the world where that is possible. Where you can have intergenerational ascension. Where your kids can be better than how you are today.
It's like kind of a fallacy.
It's not a fallacy. That's why Asian Americans entered. That's why Asian Americans entered in the 1940s as the poorest group in America, and they're now the richest group. The Constitution was not written in Korean, yet they have benefited the most from what people call a white predominant society. Indian Americans, for example, from India, are the second richest per race.
Was the Constitution written in Hindi?
No, that's exactly the point.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Continue.
The point is that people say that our society is rigged for white individuals and white men. The evidence does not suggest that. There's twice as many white people living in poverty today than black people. Now, the rate for poverty in the black community is much higher, but the aggregate number is something that should not be ignored. So the misconception that our country is rigged just for people based on a certain skin color has zero evidence. Yet that is the predominant thing that is being taught in our universities.
When did it stop?
What do you mean?
When did it not be rigged anymore? Because it clearly used to be rigged. You're saying it isn't rigged now.
That's a fair point. I'd say throughout the 60s and 70s and 80s, as America got significantly less racist, as we passed the Civil Rights Act, things got more equitable in the sense where better decisions got rewarded more.
And you don't think that there could be a lag effect of 350 years of slavery and 100 years of Jim Crow?
I think those inequities have been more balanced out, more so than it's even worth considering that 350 years of inequity. For example, Asian Americans built the railroad system in America in the late 1800s, early 1900s in America. We put Japanese Americans in internment camps in the 1940s. Jewish Americans had an extermination order against them in Europe in the 1940s. The point being is that
taking history class.
Right. So almost every racial ethnic group has had some form of suffering. So to point to something that happened a very, very long time ago and to attribute the inequity today to that.
It wasn't that long ago, though.
When was slavery abolished?
Slavery was abolished in 1808. The international slave trade was gotten rid of. But then we actually resorted to chattel slavery, which is where we bred them like cattle.
You're not going to hear me defend slavery for a second. No, I mean,
that's good because
it's one of the great sins of the American. It's one of the great sins of the American story. But you know what's also admirable about it? How we got rid of slavery.
What's admirable about slavery?
No. What's admirable about our history, not about slavery.
Okay. Thank you.
But we still haven't dealt with like the repercussions.
What repercussions would that be?
You guys, I don't know where this argument is leading, but the fact still remains that the choices we make in life determines our level of success, and I don't know why the students do not want to accept that fact. A lazy person cannot achieve the same amount of success a very hardworking person would, whether your skin is black or white. It doesn't automatically mean that things will be handed to you on a platter of gold because you are a white man. If you don't get up and do something for yourself, you are going to end up a failure in life, and there's no shortcut to that. Let me know what you guys think about this video so far, and let's wrap this video up, you guys.
The lack of the ability for certain people to accumulate wealth.
Such as who?
I don't know, like I was down in New Orleans, right, and I see all these mansions, and it's like those people, that old mansions, they made their money, they're probably slave owners. Then you go into a black neighborhood and enslave them.
But they might have been slave owners in 1865
they
when the
have that accumulated wealth that can compound versus people that don't have the opportunity.
Okay, so you're making a fair point that there might be intergenerational inequity. How do you go about that? Well, some people on the left would say you tax it, you take away from what people used to have. I totally and completely disagree with that.
What do you think? Then what is your case?
Because
how
I
do you
don't
do reparations then?
There's no reparations. I believe in opportunity. Instead of trying to fix the past, which will never happen, which is a horrible idea, you create a better future.
It'll never happen with that.
No, because you know why? Any country that's ever tried reparations has failed miserably. South Africa, for example. They've tried reparations the last 30 years. They're more racially divided on the brink of civil war than they ever have been.
You think we're on the brink of civil war?
I hope not.
You think so?
No, I said I hope not.
But I asked if you think so.
No, I don't think we are. But it's people on the left that want us to be more divided than not.
No, I think it's like you.
No.
You're here trying to divide people.
Hold on a second. Do you support black-only dormitories?
Sure.
You do? Okay. That's resegregation. You realize that?
No, I think if black people want to do that, we should allow them to because they have to face it.
Well, then would you support white-only dormitories?
No, I wouldn't.
Why?
Because pretty much the school is white only. Pretty much every dormitory is white only.
I don't know the demographic makeup of Oregon, but looking around, I'd say it's a more diverse campus than just being a white-only campus.
If black people want, yeah.
So you believe in black-only graduation ceremonies at Harvard?
If they want that, sure.
So
why do I care? Why does it bug me?
Well, it should bug you that we're resegregating parts of the population.
There's a difference.
That
It's
people
totally
march in this.
different.
What's the
One thing
difference?
if white people say that black people have to be separate.
What's the difference of skin color? What's the difference between a white person and a black person?
I was trying to tell you.
Tell me what's the difference between a white person and a black person.
No, I'm not.
There's no difference. They're both human beings. There's only one race, the human race.
They're treated differently.
How are they treated differently? Give me one piece of evidence. What can a black person not do in America that I can do?
They get treated differently by the police, and I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though the data shows that a black person...
Data can be used to lie.
So facts don't matter,
Police
essentially.
departments are actually capable of policing their own records, so the ability...
Even though most of the inner city police forces are black majority police forces.
Are they?
Okay,
Such as Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a 44% black city with a 56% black police
That
force.
bugs you?
No, it actually gives me happiness. Yeah, because I care about all people, and I don't look at people based on race like you do.
So you're post-racial?
Absolutely.
Because it does.
You're not. You're the one that wants black-only graduation ceremonies and black-only dormitories.
That's not what I said.
You're okay with it. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, because
We desegregated America.
Because that argument works for you and it's not desegregated.
It's not.
There's still a lot of problems. And like to say that if people want to have...
But the problems are not based on race.
Yeah, they are. There's tons of racial problems in America.
You have yet to give me any evidence or data or one piece
Do
of
you
example.
believe that there are any racial problems?
Individually, absolutely. Are there individually committed people that are racist? 100%.
Do you believe that there are
No.
systemic
President
racial
Trump is one of the least racist people in America.
Whatever.
Do you believe that...
No, give me one evidence that he's racist.
How about he got caught discriminating against giving out...
Complete and total false, not true whatsoever.
Okay, so you can not believe facts.
Wait, no, would a racist president such as President Donald Trump put a black woman as the first Army sergeant ever in the history of the United States Army?
That I'm not racist because I have a black friend argument.
The first Army sergeant? The first Army sergeant ever in the history of the U.S. Army? That's not true.
The first woman battalion commander, you can look it up,
okay, battalion
confirmed by
commander
the
is
United
different than
States
a
Senate, the first black woman confirmed by the United States Senate in a position of the United States Army ever. Here's a very simple question for you. At what point does someone stop being a racist in your mind?
I haven't thought about it.
You haven't thought, but yet you're quick to label, but you're not quick to retract or have a line in your head. That's pretty dangerous, isn't it?
When they die.
When they die. That's pretty sinister. Do you think I'm a racist?
Yeah. Are you a racist?
No, hold on a second. He thinks I'm a racist. Why would you say I'm a racist?
Just the stuff you're saying.
Name one thing I've said that's ever racist.
Whatever, I'm not going to play that game with you.
He doesn't need a hype guy. He doesn't need a hype guy. He's doing good on his own.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting one from Charlie Kirk. Let me know what you guys think about this video and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed every minute of this debate from Charlie Kirk. It was such an interesting debate and I enjoyed every second of it. If you guys enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share and all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.